everyone. Now I want to do some revision on mathematics and logarithms. So as you can see, there's that question. We want to see how we can solve for a learner and for everyone who is interested. So we have that question, that is, use the logarithm to evaluate. Let's say use logarithm to evaluate. So mostly this question carries 3 marks, sometimes carries 4 marks, and it is mostly common in paper 2. For the learners, this question, it is mostly paper 2 mathematics. So we want to solve it step by step. How do you earn those 3 marks or 4 marks? 1, you have to make a table like this, where we have that number as 1.23, and then you write the number in standard form. So writing the number in standard form should be written in this form, that is a times 10 raised to the power of n, where a ranges from 1 to 10, where this n is an integer which is in the power form, an integer of the power form. So whichever case a number it is, it has to be reduced into this form. It has to be written in this form so that it can range from 1 to 10. So we have this 1.23. It can be written as 1.23 raised to the power of 10, 0 to the power times 10 raised to the power of 0. So in this case, we don't write the number. It is in the range of 1 to 10. So it has been raised to the power of 0. Then from there, you find the logarithms. So you can take your calculator, or you can take the mathematical table. So you take log 1.23. And in most cases should be in 4 figures. So you have it as 0.0899. So your logarithms will be 0.0899. Can I call it even case 1. And then you have another one which is 0.0468. So we have 0.0468. So for us, we have to write this number so that it can be able to be read direct from the mathematical table. So in this case, we have to write this number in this form which you have said, that is a times 10 raised to the power of 10 times 10 raised to the power of n. And remember, when you're solving this kind of a question, when we express these numbers in this power, in this form, there are some numbers which ranges from, there are some values or numbers which are less than 1. So numbers which are less than 1, when you express in this form, the power becomes the negative. The power becomes the negative. And when you write the numbers in the power form which are more than 1, in most cases 1, 10, 20, 30, in this case the power becomes positive. So like now we have 0.046. That's a figure or a number which is less than, you have figures which are less than 1, so the power has to be negative. So it will be 4.68. So you count the number of places, steps you have moved, 1, 2. The number of steps you have moved actually count the power. So it is times 10 raised to negative 2. And then from there, when you write the logarithms, there's something I forgot on this case. The power starts, you write the power and then point the logarithms in that case. Like this case starts with 0. And then you find the logarithms. The log 4.68. The log 4.68, and then you write 6702. So it is per 2, 6702. Condition 1, whichever case. Yeah, now this is the equation. Now these two, now you apply the laws of logarithms. When you have this multiplication side, this under the laws of logarithms, when you have this sign, that's multiplication, you add the powers. This now becomes the powers. You add. So you add the 2. You can call it 1. 9 plus 2, you get 11. Let 1 cancel 0. 9 plus 0, you get 9 plus 1 which you carried, you get 0. And then we have you add 0, cal 1. You write cal 1 here. And then this one, the 1 plus 8, you get 9. 9 plus 7, you get 16. Cal 1, 0 plus 1, 0 plus 1 becomes 1 plus 6, you get what? 7 point. We have 0 plus, in this case we have 0 plus negative 2. So in this case you have per 2. And then we have the last thing, that is log 6. So we have the log 6. It is good for you to write log 6, which will help you. So log 6 you'll have at 0.7782. It is good to write it at 0.7782. The same case you write in standard form, you'll have 7782 times 10 raised to the power of 1. So you write that power here. You read the logarithms of that one. The logarithm of 7.782. So you have that one, and then you have it as 891. Now in this case you apply. Now we have, at the first case we added, now we are dividing under the laws of logarithms. When we add, like now you have a raised to the power of n times a raised to the power of m. So in this case we add the powers. But in this case now, if we have a raised to the power of n, you divide a raised to the power of m, we subtract the powers, and this is what we are going to do. So in this case, we have power 2 67020, no 7, we have 76 011. Then we have power 1 89 110. So we subtract. This case, we get 1, we get 1, 1 minus 1, we get 0. 0 minus 1, get 9. This one remains 15 minus 9, get 6. So we have 1 8 9 1, and then we have 2.6706. so we subtract. So in this case, if we subtract, what we have, we have a 1, we have a 0, this is 10 9, we have 15 minus this one, we get 6, and then we have here a 6 minus 8, it's from both, you put 1 from here, you get 8, that is 16. Now subtract, you get 8. And also we have minus 2, you subtract 1. So under the number line, that's a number line, we have 0, -1, -2, then we have -3. So we had -2, and then we borrowed 1, so it means we move to -3. So now we have -3 minus -1. In this case, we have the positive, the -2. So in this case, you have the -2. But remember, we had this sign, that is the cube root. You divide everything by 3. You divide everything by 3. So we divide everything by 3. But in this case, we have the characteristics and the mantissa, this side and this side. So we have the 2. So for you to divide, you have to make this side to add a number which, at least when you divide by 3, can be divisible, because we have -2, which is very possible. In this case, if you had one both, if you had one both these sides, that's the characteristics and the mantissa, at least you'd have a way on how to divide. So in this case, if you had -1, -2 minus 1, that side, plus you add that 1 to this side, 1.86901, and then you divide by what? By 3. So in this case, you have the power 3 plus 1.86901, and then divide 3 both sides. So you divide, you have it by 1 point, and then you have 1.8. You have 1.86, 1.86901. Then you divide by 3. So you have at plus 0.6330, 0.66230. So you have it 1.6230. Now this one, you unlog, this one becomes the power 10 raised to the power 10 raised to the power of that one times 10 raised to the nth-log of this one. So you take the nth-log, you take the antilog of 0.623. So you have it. This is your answer. You have your answer as 4.918. So which is the same as 4.198 times 1/10, which is the same as 0.4198.